Hello everybody and welcome back to the Triple Threat Challenge. So in September here, I managed to get both of these fields ploughed. I've been buying the equipment after getting a couple of contracts done. I also got a really good deal on a New Holland tractor, which I'll show you in just a moment. But yeah, as I say, got these fields done. Uh, Put the rye and the mustard into the silo, ready to be sold. Don't get a huge price for it anyway, but um, what else have I done? Apart from that, really, nothing really much else. So, looking at the, where are we? There is millet. So looking at the millet side of things, I've got the four fields here. They're not cheap, not overly expensive. A kind of, I would say, a reasonable price. This one here is right next to the farm at 102,000. I did get chickens on my randomizers, so I probably said in the first video the idea I have, the chicken coop that I have planned for it. So let's go and have a look at this New Holland here. I managed to, uh, where is it? Up there. So we got this cultivator here, and this is the New Holland. Got a great deal on that. I managed to repair the case that I had, and I managed to get a good amount of money back on it. And then I bought this, which is a much higher horsepower. And I also bought this plough here. I love this plough. I'll show you this. For any of you that haven't seen this one, this is the Lizard SP10M. It looks small to begin with, but it does extend. You can use it at that size, or you can actually use it at its smallest, whichever way you want to use it. So I'm thinking I want to buy a cedar, uh, but I'm not sure right at the moment if I want to get that right now. But I've got to try and plant. Let's have a look here. Try and plant either barley or wheat now or next month. I really want to try and get it done ASAP because I want to use that for feed for the chickens. Contracts wise, I have got a bale wrapping contract. I think I've only got one more allowed this month. But we have got fertilizing contracts, which are great because I want to get a fertilizer spreader. And the fertilizer spreader I'm going to go for is now, this one is actually pretty small. It only holds 330 litres, but it uses very, very little. So it kind of goes a long way, so to speak. So I may go for that one. We do have a good amount of choice for the prices. I mean, that one there at 790. The only downside is it goes through the fertilizer relatively quickly. So I may buy this one. Uh, yeah, actually, I probably could buy that Amazon one. That one. So 330 litres, 12 metre spread. It does the job. 2,300. but I'll need to get some fertilizer. So, used to have a mod on here that gave me the bags, the small bags, but I don't seem to have them now. They're all gone, which is a shame. So it'll have to be a big bag. There was no limit on liftables, so I'll buy one of them. The only thing I won't actually use in this series, which I used a lot of, was the Unreal Capacities. I'm not going to use that because to me it just makes a wee bit too easy. So we're going to head down to the shop and we'll go and pick up that fertilizer spreader. But the Massey Ferguson harvester is holding up really well, actually. It's a really nice one. Although I was tempted to use the headers for harvester mod, which, oh, stop, woof, nearly an accident there, which allows me to harvest the field at the top speed that the harvester will go. So if my harvester runs at 26 miles an hour, I'll be able to harvest at 26 miles an hour. I do want to go down that route, but what I don't want to do is harvest at its full speed. So I just want to have a few miles an hour more, just to make it a little bit more interesting. I don't want to be harvesting at 26 miles an hour. I'd rather, I think some of the harvesters are 6 miles an hour. I'd rather maybe 10 miles an hour, something like that. So I have noticed that there are quite a few people doing this challenge. I can't remember off the top of my head everybody that's doing it. So what I'll do is I'll probably compile a list. I have got a few in the description of my last video, but since then I've noticed there's a few more doing it. So I'll try and get them in there as well. And there was a bit of a clarification that once the loan, if you are able to pay the loan off and you do pay it off completely, you do not need to do the randomizer again. So once the loan's paid off, that is that threat finished. Personally, I think it should carry on into the following January if you're still going on the challenge, which hopefully most people would be. I feel that if you get yes on paying the loan off and you do pay it off, then I feel that once you've paid it off, I think even the following January, you should have to do the randomizer again and ask it, do I need to take out a loan? And if it says no, then you don't. If it says yes, then you've got another 100,000 loan to try and clear. I think it just keep the challenge going. I think there could be a few people there that want to do the challenge. We try and make it as easy as they can, you know, so they can get through the challenge. So I think by doing that with the randomizer in January for the debt, I think would help extend the series, or you know, extend the challenge a bit longer. Right, I should have had my beacons on, so I wonder how long it'll take before people tell me off for not having my beacons on. Ultra realistic. Right, I think what I'll do is I will take on, I can't remember how many, I think it's 1 or 2, I can't remember how many contracts I've got to do. But I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll take on 2 of them. I should have actually done this before I headed back up to the farm. So we've got one just across from our farm. I'll take that one. So I'll take that one. It makes the challenge slightly easier knowing that you don't actually have to use your own equipment. You can actually lease the equipment for the job from the farmer himself, and you can actually use his equipment on another field that's relevant to the job, which kind of makes it a bit easier, I suppose. Now I'm praying that I have chosen the right fertilizer spreader. I'm sure I have. But we will soon find out. What I'm going to do is cut down here, I think. Cut down here? Yeah. Right, we'll put the good old assist on. What was it? So it was actually spreading there and then it cut off on me. Try that again. There we go. Right, it's spreading now. So you can see there that I'm using very little fertilizer for this job. So if anybody's looking for a fertilizer spreader, you can go and get this one. I'll get the name of it in just a moment for you, or you could probably, while you're watching the video, you can go back and watch me hook it up. I'll give you the name for it. But yeah, it uses very, very little. Absolutely great fertilizer to have. So we'll get this one done and then move on to the next job. So I don't know whether I want to actually start my animals soon or not, because if I start them now, I'm going to have to buy feed. And that would defeat the whole purpose of growing the crop for them. So what I'm going to try and do is aim to get one of the fields first. I need to find out exactly when it's due to be harvested and find out which field I want to go for. Preferably the cheapest one. But here we are. Also, oh, that's what I was going to do. That's what I was going to do. I was going to get the cedar, and I knew what I was wanting to do with it, or which cedar I wanted. So we're going to do that as well. As you can see there, 330 litres, and we've done a whole headland, and we're going down the strip, 327 litres left, so it's going to take a wee while for it to go down. So definitely worth having on your farm. I know it's only a 12 metre spread, but if it lasts this long. Oh, excuse me. It's a really nice map, this one, actually. It's really nicely laid out. It's quite easy to get around. I haven't come across any issues yet. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't come across any issues, but never say never. I really enjoy watching everybody playing this challenge because it gives you a kind of idea of how people are going about doing their part of the challenge. Some people probably starting off with getting the fields, some people starting off with just doing contracts, some may start with animals, you know, as soon as they can. And it all depends on what you get as well. I mean, I got lucky. I got chickens. Chickens are quite cheap. Chickens are easy. But some people out there are getting maybe 20 fields to have to do, and ooh, yeah, that not for me. I would pass on that, I'm afraid. But there are many out there that will take on that challenge head on. I mean, it's not so. The animals are not the worst thing to get. I mean, you can you can get, you know, cows, and they're easy to, you know, some cow barns are easy to manage. Some are take a little bit more to manage, depending on how you want to feed them as well, because you can you can buy you can buy grass bales, you know, hay bales, that kind of thing. Again, it does cost money. I understand that. You could buy you can buy as many fields as you want, as long as you actually buy the fields relevant to what the randomizer gave you, and then you harvest them and make sure that it's that crop that goes into that field only. So I mean, we could go ahead and buy another field if we wanted to, and if we had cows, we could put grass in it. I really want this field on my left. That is a nice size field. That is a nice size field. There was no rule on merging fields, so if you buy two small fields, you could probably put them together to make one big field. So I didn't see anything there with that, so you should be okay there. Right, set this down here. Now, I did have a shed in mind as well. Let's have a quick look here. Where are you, Mr. Shed? I know you're here somewhere. I have a lot of sheds. I have a lot of sheds. I like my sheds. Now, I tried to find one that was going to be big enough to hold the harvester as well. So, and I did find this one, which is 4,500. It should be big enough. I always like to put them over the top of the vehicles to make sure that they're going to fit. So yeah, it should be okay there. I was going to put it here. There was that one. There was another one somewhere that I spotted that I would like to get. I think it was that one. That was another one. That's cheaper. And it would fit right about there. Somewhere there about. I don't want it too close to the field, because if I put it too close, it could put a um, texture round it. So you got to be careful of that. Make sure you're. I've got another save where I actually put the sheds down in exactly the same place I want them, so I can test it and make sure I know where or how far away from fields and that I need to be. So yeah, so that's that. Right, now the seeder that I was going to get was this one. Not putting the transport wheels on it. There is a reason why I'm not doing that. Although compactor wheels. No, we don't want compactor wheels. No, we'll stick it with standard. So that's 12,000 for that. And then I want to get into the right category here. Bale transport. This was mentioned about this one here, which has got ramps, and I think it lowers and raises from the middle. So I'm going to change the color of that one. It's 11,100. So I want to get these fields started next month. I can start doing contracts again, so I'm not too worried. I just don't. I don't like the really bright orange. So we're going to go with that. Again, it's got the swivel axle. I don't like them, but I'm going to use it for this. Right. Get back to the shop. Now, there was no rule on resetting your tractor, so we're going to just reset. Back to the shop. It's a bit quicker because I'm going to need to buy. Right, let's see how this thing works. It's all very well buying it, but I don't know how it works. Right, okay, unfold low loader. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. Now I should be able to get the seeder on there. Okay, how much seed does the seeder need? Well, I only need, like, one bag will be fine. One bag should do. See, I could go for these, but they're a wee bit small. I wanted to go, well, wait a minute. You know what, 4 meters, 800 litre. That one does fertilizer as well, though. And I've got a fertilizer spreader. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go with this one. Yeah, save us a wee bit of money. Right, we're buying that. Right, let's get that loaded on there. Oh, turn the tractor off. Of course I did. I always turn the tractor off. Why not? We use this trailer now for picking up equipment, and I don't know how that was supposed to work, but never mind. That ramps, I don't know, they're a wee bit on the wide side. There we go. Strap that down so it doesn't go anywhere. Right, then we'll buy a bag of seed. Oh, it was the small bags of seeds. It would have been good for a small seeder. Right, we're going to buy this. I'm going to load that on. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Fold that up. I love the animation of that. That is really cool. Right, let's get this back to the farm. Well, the ceder's already open for me as well. Right, I think what we're going to do, I'm going to plant this, maybe cockerel's very loud. Probably plant for next month, and then get some more contracts done. As I say, I want to try and go for the fields first. I want to work it in stages of getting the fields, then doing the animals. But if I do get to a stage where I'm taking in a good amount of money, I'll probably start the animals. So we'll see how it goes. What I could do as well is I could get the chicken coop ready for the chickens when I get the money, but we want to try and be smart with our money, because eventually we could end up completely drained of cash, and we don't want that. Eventually I probably will get a wheel loader, and we can start doing the seeds in that manually, which would be nice. We'll just leave those bags there just now. Try not to hit that tree. Probably, oh, wait a minute, I need to lower that, don't I? Mind you, I probably could have just picked it up off at the height it was at, but a bit more interesting. There we go. Right, so we can set that. I think we will do wheat, or do I get more of barley? Do you know what? It's not going to matter, so we're going to go with wheat. Now we can use workers to do this as well, so that's a bonus. I could probably start doing the planting next month, and I can use a worker while I go and do the contract work, which would be a good idea. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'll leave it here for today, guys. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you are informed of all my uploads. So with that said, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all in the next one. But until then, bye for now.